That's Money Brown, man. Errol Spence Jr. Boy, Money Brown, he get a lot of money. That's why I call him Money Brown.
What's good, Money Brown TV? What up, what up?
Yeah. I want to give a shout out to Money Brown TV. Thank you so much for everything.
Hey, this is Ryan Garcia here. Shout out to Money Brown TV and keep punching, baby.
Yo, what's going on after the fight? Well, it's your boy Money back with another one, man. This one here is on the 4th division. Walking legend, Hall of Fame fighter, Roy Jones Jr. You know, the king of the welterweight division. You know, the WBC IBF world champion, Errol the True Spence Jr. And the 3-division world champion, former undisputed world champion, and the current WBO welterweight world champion, Terence T-Bud Crawford. Now, I want everybody to understand this, man. It's nothing but respect for Roy Jones Jr., right? Nothing but respect for Roy Jones. But, you know, Roy Jones has been coming out, and he's been, you know, ever since, you know, this Errol Spence and Terence Bud Crawford fight has been heating up, Roy Jones has always taken Terence Bud Crawford's side. He has never, you know what I'm saying, showed Errol Spence no love for us, what he's done, his accolades in boxing. You know, and he always said, like, Errol Spence need to do more, and he always questioned Errol Spence's resume. Even though Errol Spence does have a better resume than Terence Bud Crawford, Roy Jones Jr. say Terence Bud Crawford has a better resume than Errol the True Spence Jr. You feel me? Which is, I can't see it. I can't see it. But, like I say, Roy Jones has always, you know, favored Terence Bud Crawford over Errol Spence, which I don't have a problem with. If you feel like Terence Bud gonna beat Errol Spence, you know, that's your pick, that's your prerogative. But with Roy, it seemed like it's a little something extra there, bro. It seems like it's a little something extra there, you know. And he does the same thing, you know what I mean? Like, you wanted your money from Benoit Hopkins, right? You wanted your money from Benoit Hopkins. So when Errol Spence feel like he's worked 60-40 over Terence Bud Crawford because he put the hard work in, you cannot get pissed off at that, Roy Jones. You cannot get pissed off at that. And Errol the True Spence has deserved, I ain't gonna say he deserved 60-40 over Terence Bud Crawford in a showdown for undisputed, if they meet up for undisputed. But when we're looking at the situation, right, Errol Spence has been doing the heavy lifting, and Roy still don't give him no credit. I remember Roy said, you know, the Sean Porter fight was going to tell him something. You feel me? But even after the Sean Porter fight, Roy Jones still say, you know, Errol Spence hasn't done anything. You feel me? To where he said, he came back and said, oh, Terence Bud Crawford knocked out Kell Brook in 3 rounds. You know what I mean? But, you know, you said after the Sean Porter fight, it approved something to you for Errol the True Spence Jr., but you still didn't give him no credit, Roy. You know what I mean? You still didn't give him no credit. So it's showing that you have a bias towards Terence Bud Crawford. And there's nothing wrong with it. If that's your guy, that's your guy. You feel me? But you got to keep it real, Roy. You got to keep it real, bro. You can't be out here. You can't be capping, bro. You can't be capping. Now, I want everybody to check this out where Roy said, you know, well, I'm going to give Bud his just due because Bud is a hell of a fighter. But Bud resume at 147 don't add up to Errol Spence Jr. resume. It's not even close. It's not even close, you feel me? And we all can see that. But Roy Jones will say that Terence Bud Crawford resume is better than Errol Spence. You know what I mean? And when you look at the fighters, I can't see how. I mean, I can't see how. You dig? It's just no comparison to me. You know, and Bud is a hell of a fighter. His skill set, his accolades, they speak for themselves. But skills and accolades don't put asses in the seats. You know what I mean? And we've been seeing from Bud that he got all the skills, he got all the accolades, and people are not buying his pay-per-views. And that's what matters in today's time for us, the business side of making the bread. Errol Spence has been put asses in the seats. Errol Spence has been selling out Dallas, Texas Stadium. You feel me? So when you look at that situation, you have to get credit where credit is due. You just praised Canelo for putting 73,000 asses in the seats. You know what I mean? Errol Spence put 40,000 asses in the seats. You know, Bud Crawford haven't done that. He haven't done that. When you look at Errol Spence Gates, Terence Bud Crawford Gates haven't done that. And it's just the fact of the matter. Just the fact of the matter. But I want everybody to listen to what Roy Jones had to say, right, about Errol Spence and Terence Bud Crawford, because, like I say, this is just being Trill here. He don't give Errol credit for anything Errol do. And him being a fucking Hall of Fame fighter, a walking icon, you know what I'm saying, doing everything he's done in this boxing game, you'll think Roy will call it straight down the middle. But Roy haven't been calling it straight down the middle. And that's a fact, family. And I'm going to show y'all why. But check him out.
Maybe, but Terence said he don't want to fight anymore. So he's trying to get Errol to fight because everybody was talking about it. Errol won't take the fight, so he said he don't want it. So it's gonna be hard, and that's what hurts boxing. because we don't get these fights when they're at the pinnacle. It's like I heard.
Now, as y'all see, he said Terrence said he don't want the fight no more because y'all know how Roy talk. Errol said he don't want the fight. Terrence tried to give him the fight when everybody want the fight, but Terrence said he don't want the fight no more. So he don't want it. No, Terrence can't say, oh, he don't want the fight no more. He just can't say, oh, I don't want to fight him no more. This, that. No, the fight is at its pinnacle for all the marbles. It's here, Roy. In case you haven't been checking. This was 2 days ago, everybody. The fight is here, Roy. Errol Spence said, I'm going to go get this scrap, and I'm going to see who's holding up the division. Right? Check it out. You understand what I'm saying? We'll see who holding up what when I get this third scrap. Basing that to Terence Crawford, let him know there's nothing else I can do but come for you after I get this scrap. But y'all do not hold Terence Crawford accountable for nothing, Roy. Nothing. You feel me? Y'all don't tell Terence Crawford, hey, bud, you need to think about taking that 40%. You feel me? Y'all just make it look like Errol Spence is just the villain here. Now I want y'all to listen to Roy Jones, fam. Listen to Roy Jones, y'all. Listen to Roy.
That you're bigger than, you just said right now to the whole wide world that you're bigger than me, and so by you being bigger than me, that should make it easy for you to want to fight.
At the end of the day, Roy and Bernard, this is going to happen. This is going to happen.
I never said I don't want
both
to.
of you
I never
want
said
to make it happen, regardless, and find a way to make it happen.
Right, split your ass in two. I don't give a damn about no fight. Well, hey, I'm the champ. I'm the champ. I'm right here with champ of the world. You want to try to put my title?
Who I am?
You want to try to put my title?
All right.
If you're the champ, who I am? 60-40, get your ass lower. 60-40, get your ass kicked. 60-40, I kick your ass. Why kick your ass? 60-40, I kick your ass. 60-40, I tear your ass up.
Now, as y'all can see, Roy said 60-40, I tear your ass up. Now, that's Roy Jones and Benoit Hopkins. Now, people say, well, Money Brown, he already beat Benoit Hopkins. It doesn't matter. It's a big fight, and Roy felt like he deserved 60-40. He felt like he deserved 60-40 because why? He was the bigger champion. He was the bigger name. He was putting more asses in the seats. Just like Errol Spence, the bigger champion, the bigger name, and he putting more asses in the seats. Regardless of the accolades, because like I say, Terence Crawford has the accolades, but they're not translating to dollars, everybody. They not. Just look at the pay-per-view numbers. Don't listen to these people talking about how much Terence Crawford worked and how much Errol Spence Jr. worked, because that's falsification. We talking about what they doing at 147 right now. Who is the biggest star at 147 right now? Who's pulling in the more money at 147 right now? You understand what I'm saying? And when we look at it, it's Errol Spence Jr., right? Roy Jones said 60-40, I'll turn your ass up. Errol Spence just told this man 60-40, right? Errol Spence is fit to go fight Dennis Ugas for a third scrap. Whether people like it or not, Dennis Ugas is the world champion. You can't take that away from him. He's the world champion. So if Errol comes to the table with three titles, and Bud has 1 title, and Errol coming off his 4th pay-per-view in a row, 4th. You understand what I'm saying, everybody? 4th pay-per-view in a row against Dennis Ugas. We don't know what the numbers are going to look like, but they're going to be good numbers, right? Terence Crawford was supposed to fight Manny Pacquiao. It didn't happen. It didn't happen, right? That was his biggest fight. He was sticking his tongue out, 999, and it didn't happen. And Bob Arum didn't try to do nothing to make it happen. After the money fell out from the investments, Bob Arum just let it go to waste. Let it go to waste because he don't believe in Terence Crawford and his draw. Bob Arum already came out saying that Terence Crawford lost the money. This don't have nothing to do with Terence Crawford as a fighter, because Bud has a chance to beat Errol Spence. That's a fact. I'm not talking about as a fighter. I'm talking about when it comes to the business side, family. When it comes to the business side, his own promoter don't take a chance on him. So it's saying a lot. You know what I mean? It's saying a lot. Like, he don't even want to take a chance on Teofimo Lopez. Triller had to come and get Teofimo Lopez that money, right, for George Kambosos, and they moved the fight back to June 18th. But we saying this. And then Terence Crawford saying that, oh, man, I try to get Errol Spence to fight. He don't want to fight. Understand this, Roy. Bud Crawford said he don't want Errol Spence after the accident, right? After the accident. So Errol went and fought Danny Garcia, which he's going to fight Danny Garcia anyway. But he said he didn't want him after the accident because if he win, he wasn't going to get any credit. Errol Spence came and beat Danny Garcia. When Errol Spence beat Danny Garcia and Terence Crawford defeated Kell Brook because he fought before Errol Spence, Terence Crawford said he wanted Manny Pacquiao, right? Errol Spence, okay, you want Manny Pacquiao? Let me try to get Manny Pacquiao. It was a chess move to try to get that third scrap, right? But when Manny Pacquiao dropped the title and Ugas got the title, Errol Spence looked at it as Manny Pacquiao holds no leverage no more because he don't have a third scrap. So I'm still going to get the third scrap. And if Manny Pacquiao would have fought Errol, right, Bud still would have had to fight somebody. If Bud would have fought Manny Pacquiao, Errol still would have had to fight somebody. There's one fight in between their fight. Right now, Errol Spence is fighting Dennis Ugas. Terence Crawford has to fight somebody. Guess what, everybody? There's one fight in between their fight. It's still the same time limit, the same time frame. Nothing has changed. Nothing has changed but the name who they're going to fight. But they still in position to fight in the fall or the winter time for undisputed. And Terence Crawford saying he don't want to fight. For why? Why don't you want to fight? He's not stalling you. Y'all still would have been one fight apart. Let's just say if he would have got Manny Pacquiao after he beat Kell Brook. He said he wanted Manny Pacquiao after Kell Brook. So if Bud would have went and fought Manny Pacquiao, Earl still would have fought Ugas or Keith Thurman, whomever he was going to face. That's one fight, everybody. Listen to what I'm saying. It's one fight in between them fighting each other. There's still one fight in between of them fighting each other. Has Errol been stalling you when he said, when I get this third scrap, we gonna see who holding up what, preferring to Terence Crawford as, look her, I'm coming for that fourth scrap for undisputed, like Canelo just told motherfucking Caden Plant, I'm coming for you. I'm coming for you. The boogeyman's knocking at the door. You understand what I'm saying? We got to put all the bullshit behind us and look at what's right now. Let's keep it real. Let's keep it real. Errol Spence want to fight. Do Terence Crawford want to fight? And if he don't, why not? What's the reason? We can't be talking about, oh man, I've been trying to get the fight for this long. You've been chasing Manny Pacquiao for 7 years, bro. 7. And you still haven't got the fight. The Errol Spence fight only been realistic for 1 year, everybody. Errol Spence had his car crash in fucking 19, and he had to sit out all the way to the end of 2020, right, to fight Sean Porter, and he came back. You dig what I mean? I'm sorry, y'all. After he fought Sean Porter, he set out and came all the way back to fight Danny Garcia. Excuse me, y'all. I'm sorry. Right? Came back to fight Danny Garcia. You feel me? He fought Danny Garcia in December. In December, bro. You understand what I'm saying? In December. And now he's finna get his first fight in 2021. Look like in July. So what's the holdup? You didn't want the fight after the crash, but now you don't want the fight after the crash? Come on, bud. You got to make this make sense, family. You got to make it make sense. And Roy Jones and Andre Ward and Tim Browder, y'all going to have to start telling the truth. Y'all going to have to start telling the truth whether y'all like it or not, bro. If y'all don't like that Errol Spence is the ace out of his position, that's y'all fault. That's y'all fault. Those are personal feelings y'all have to take away from the sport. And y'all got to be real and call it down the middle. Call it trill, because if the shoe is on the other foot, if Bud was a unified world champion at 147, if Bud was coming off his fourth pay-per-view in a row, right, if he was the bigger draw, then I'd be saying the same shit to Errol Spence that I'm saying to Terence Crawford. And y'all know damn well y'all would be saying the same shit that we saying about Errol Spence to Terence Crawford right now. So it's just not fair, man. It's just not fair. Roy Jones, you got to put your personal feelings to the side and don't be a hypocrite, because that was you right there saying you want 60-40, my brother. That was you saying you want 60-40. Don't be a hypocrite, because you know you was the ace side and you brought more to the seat. More to the plate. Just like Errol Spence is bringing more to the plate and he's the ace side. You feel me? Terence Crawford has to play ball. And if he beat Errol Spence, he put himself in position to turn around and tell Errol Spence to take the same deal. You know what I'm saying? But we got to start being fair. We got to start being fair in this boxing game. That's only how we go get somewhere, man. If we want these fights, we got to start being fair. And I'm not saying Terence Crawford have to take it. He don't have to fight him. He don't have to do shit he don't want to do. But if we looking at it and we being real and we on the outside looking in and we as men are smart enough to call this shit down the middle, Errol Spence deserves 60-40, bro. Roy Jones, get off the bullshit. Be trill with it, dog. Be trill with it. You are a walking, living legend. I'm still a fan of yours. You still a bad motherfucker. You feel me? I smoke, I drink. I supposed to stop, but I can't. Y'all must have forgot. Still some of the banging, most of the bangers hits that I be playing. But keep it real, bro. Just keep it real. You know what I mean? If something you don't like about Errol Spence, that's your personal feelings. But take your personal feelings out and keep it real, bro. Shouts out to Terence Crawford. Shouts out to Errol Spence. Shouts out to Roy Jones. Terence Crawford still don't have a dancing partner. And look like Bob Burnford is chef him until September. So he's going to miss a whole paycheck, and he can come back and fight Errol Spence in the wintertime for undisputed. This is on Terence Crawford and Terence Crawford only. Terence Crawford need to get his business together, and he need to get his team together and make this Errol Spence fight happen in the wintertime for undisputed, because the fight is stirred. Do Terence Crawford want it? Until then, it's your boy Money. This the NSBC moving. Ain't nobody safe in these streets. Hit them thumbs up. Subscribe to the channel if you want to donate. OG Money on Cash App. TreyHunt52@gmail.com on PayPal. If not, just tell a friend. Hit the subscribe button. Like, comment, share the video. And y'all know how your boy get down, man. Big dog status, family.